Hey everyone, it's Ace. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm playing in a tank. If you're with me, leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into the video and discuss whether the tank is any good in Delta Force. First, to get it right out of the gate, is the tank any good? I think the tank is decent. And by decent, I mean it's completely serviceable. First, the firepower of the tank. Once you get level 2 main battle tank level on the customization options, you will unlock the high explosive shell. And if you're a person who plays primarily breakthrough, like I am right now on trench lines, you will need the HE shell, specifically because you really need high splash damage to be effective in a tank. And the AP shell, while it's serviceable, I think that is more based towards Conquest and the other modes where you face more vehicles, and you're more likely to need to defend yourself against one or two more vehicles. Here, you're generally just playing against infantry, for the most part, and maybe a couple of LAVs and maybe another tank, but generally him you will never see. Why? Because he's gonna be fucking dead. Because there's a lot of anti-tank in this game, and you really need to understand a little bit the maps to try to not take a gazillion damage and die instantly. And we're gonna showcase this on trench line today. So, the secondary weapons of the tank, we have access to coaxial LMG and HMG. I have not unlocked any of those yet, so I'm just using this stock coaxial LMG, which I will report immediately, feels improved compared to the one I have been using in the Delta Force alpha test we had during the summer. First, I mentioned in one of my older videos, the sound of the LMG has changed. It sounds better now, it's more beefy, and it feels more satisfying to kill people with. It has like a better sound feedback to it, so if you get in the tank and use the LMG, you will feel that it feels better to use, for sure. The other thing, like I said, the HE shell, it feels unchanged compared to the one from the alpha test, so if you land it in a bunker like right here, you will get 50 kills immediately. The most important tip I can give for somebody who wants to play a little bit of tank in Delta Force is you need to have very good positioning. The tank is very, very slow. It goes in reverse extremely slow, so if you're getting hit on the front by an RPG or a Javelin, you will take a lot of damage. You will press your maintenance perk, which is on the bottom gear, and then you will slow as molasses slowly reverse backwards to try to find cover, but at that point you will already take so much damage and you are dead. And if nobody's repairing you and there's nobody on the team who is playing engineer, which is, of course, as we know, in most situations that's the case, you are gonna die and then you have to wait, of course, for another tank. So when you play on trench lines, try to use maybe some of these positions I'm using. There's a lot of cover here. I'm still being very effective, providing a lot of kills for my team and suppressing the enemy who is running above the trenches and trying to hide in bunkers. You have to use the tank as kind of like a bunker buster on this mode, and if you can find a very good angle to land it in one of the trenches, you can also do that. However, I would advise that you find the best ratio of minimizing risk, but maximizing your firepower. So, by that I mean, find a very tight angle where you're not gonna get hit by anything, but where you can get like 2 or 3 kills by splashing people out. Here we can see I'm just sniping people with the HE shell across the map basically, and yes, you can definitely use the tank as like an artillery and snipe people. Why go forward if you have the aim or the understanding of the drop of the HE shell, where you can just snipe them across the fucking map. So you can see I'm doing it here, and it's quite fun. The enemy doesn't know what's shooting them, of course. They're sitting in the house and suddenly the house collapses and everybody inside evaporates, and that's me sending my little HE shell from across the map. And speaking about the things across the map, this is the general engagement distance for infantry as well. I mean, guys, you're getting beamed across the map by an SMG-45 or by a MP5 SMGs, which you would think would be effective at 30 meters max, you know, like they cap out. But here, the engagement distances are insane, and that is also true for the anti-tank weaponry. From what I can tell from the little I play tank, you get locked from Javelin from virtually, it feels to me, like across the map. This isn't the only time I played tank. I played it on Ascension, and I swear to God, I'm getting locked from the mountain, from Mount Everest with the Javelin, and there's no way for me to counter that. I mean, I cannot kill them that far away because I have a limiter of where my weapons go, and, you know, they don't have that limit. The 84 gun, the anti-tank weapon, is also a recoilless weapon, it seems. You shoot it, it's like instant fire with like insane muzzle velocity. It has super fast reload speed. We're talking here 2 or 3 seconds, and your tank is super slow going into cover. So if you're not already in cover, you're gonna eat that 84. On top of that, they also disable parts of your tank. They can hit you in the track or the turret, disabling you from moving or attempting to shoot them back if you cannot turn your turret. And you get stuck very often in the tank. Right here, I'm stuck on a tree stump and nearly dying because I cannot move, so I'm panicking, trying to reverse, to try not to take too much damage from the enemy Elevian tank. You have to be very mindful with positioning, as I mentioned, of the tank in this game. You get stuck on everything. If there's a little fucking pebble on the ground, your tank will get stuck and there's nothing you can do. I've tried everything. I shot the ground, I went out. I've even had people come with an MRAP trying to ram my tank to get me unstuck, and it doesn't work. It's like the strongest magnet on the world is pinning my 70-ton tank to this small pebble in the ground. So be very, very careful where you're driving with the tank. Tank feels more in this game as a support vehicle. You're here to support your infantry rather than, killing everybody, going 1,000 to 0 and killing the server and making people leave. The tank is very vulnerable in this game, though I will say, of course, this is right now where I'm at. I don't have yet the APS or the other tank upgrades, so perhaps with that my survivability will increase, and that will of course encourage me to play even more aggressively and try to rush onto flags and trying to capture it. But as you know, guys, if you watched my channel during all those years, a decade ago, you would know that I always use my infantry as the spearhead, and then I go in with them rather than me going in, dying, and I have 50 snipers behind me on a rock on another map waiting for me to kill everybody so they can then parachute down and capture the flag. No, I never do that. You have infantry, they will go in and you will go in with them, and on some objectives, of course, they cannot do that, and then you will go first. But here on trench lines, this is for sure an infantry map more than it is tank or helicopter map if you're playing Conquest. So here I'm just waiting for my infantry to go in, and I'm trying to do my best to clear out or thin out the herd, as I like to call it. So we're just splashing people in the tent here, we're killing them as they're coming from the left side of the tent, and that's kind of the playstyle of the tank in this game, at least if you're new in the game and you don't have anything unlocked. As I mentioned, with APS, that might change, and when that time comes, I'll of course make a video with APS. If it's possible to play it super aggressive, then we're gonna play it super aggressive. That's for sure. The other thing, at least on this map, the destruction is fine, at least on the first sector of the map, so you can blow up buildings and help your infantry try to clear out people and make angles for them. However, on this point, that is not possible. I'm gonna shoot a wall to try to maybe make an angle for myself so I can shoot people who are crossing the street, but for some reason this wall is made from titanium and you cannot blow it up with anything. I'm shooting it here, I'm thinking perhaps it's the HE shell. I've had people come out of the tank and shoot it with RPG, it just doesn't work. However, some walls seem to be destroyed, so it's like the destruction that you can create with the tank seems to be quite inconsistent, because this will be the perfect angle for us to go in. But here you can see there is a hole in the wall here, and we could go in there. But I couldn't make a hole for our team there. I'm gonna go for the most saddest nuke I have ever done. I think I killed one guy and his respawn beacon, and because of that bad nuke, it's gonna force us to do stupid things. And the other thing that's forced me to do dumb things is this, like I mentioned, I cannot blow up a wall there, so I have to go forward here in the middle to try to create an angle for my team, and that's actually gonna get me killed because, I'm in the middle, kind of sandwiched between many vehicles and many tanks. With that being said, guys, we are gonna win this game, and I'm gonna start to close out this video. Here you can see I'm getting flanked by 2 tanks, and like I said, the only reason I'm here is because I couldn't stay on my position there. And when you get out of position in Delta Force in tank, you are dead no matter what. If you like the video and you enjoy my content, please leave a like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. The link is gonna be in the description. I post there often. You can DM me, we can have a convo, and so on. Have a good week next week, and I'll see you next time.